Gildan Audio presents an unabridged recording of Plato's The Republic, translated and edited by Raymond Larson, narrated by Don Hagen. Introduction. The Republic is a dialogue, that is to say, a conversation. Since it is a conversation recorded between the covers of a book, we cannot help but begin by reading it, but I think the author wants us as soon as possible to join it, to be converted from passive perusal to active participation, to be drawn in among the other silent interlocutors. As it happens in a number of Platonic dialogues, there are people present who say nothing or next to nothing out loud. In the Republic we are told of 4. In fact, one of these, Cleitophon, who makes only a brief intrusion into the conversation here, is to be thought of as having a few things to say on his own about the topic at hand, which is justice. For there exists a brief but brisk dialogue between him and Socrates, a companion piece to the Republic, which, if it is not by Plato, is at least by someone versed in the spirit of Platonic dialogues. The reader is, I think, invited to be present just as these people are, and with them to smile or snicker at witticisms and inside jokes, to groan in outrage at trick arguments, to nod approval at satisfying formulations, to recall contradictory passages of conversation, to appreciate the return of a theme, and in sum to check and fill out the recorded conversation with an unwritten inner accompaniment, to be always just on the brink of breaking in. Indeed, the vocal characters themselves make it clear that they are by no means Socrates' unwitting stooges, but wary and critical participants. For example, at one point, Adimantus somewhat pugnaciously breaks in, "Socrates, no one could dispute what you say. Your listeners are in the same position as always. They think that because of their inexperience at question and answer, the argument leads them astray a little bit at a time, until finally, when all the bits are collected, they find themselves lost in apparent contradiction to what they said at the start." A rebuke to which Socrates yields quite gracefully. Perhaps nothing in or about the Platonic dialogues is more worth dwelling on than their dialogue form, especially in the Republic, which itself contains a discussion of its own literary type. In Book 2, Socrates divides all myth-telling and poetry into 2 styles. One is the narrative style, in which a poet candidly and on his own...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?